Alright, hello guys, we're here. Hold on, sorry. Work is texting me on my day off. Hi. I can't tell if I'm just really deaf all of a sudden or if my audio is really quiet. I don't know where my Apple Watch went, but it's in this room somewhere. But hello. We were here playing some Warzone. Because what else would it? And then he just hits me with a like. After texting me on my day off, my boss just likes my message and doesn't say thank you. Active score streak limit? The fuck you mean, Batman? What is that thing? Oh! Alright, let's go fucking hunting, brother. Sorry, it needed to happen. So, the other day, Wednesday maybe? I'm at work, right? I don't know how I won that. We get these over the road guys because they don't know what time their appointment time is. And so they always usually end up coming over the road. The fuck? And you know, this train always fucks me. I also feel like that time should have hit. Anyways, this might end up just being a spectating video so I can fucking say what I want to say because I can't fucking multitask for shit. I was out in the yard dealing with over-the-road drivers, telling them to fuck off because they can't be there. And while doing that, a driver shows up and says, "Hey, I was here earlier. There's product from you guys that you guys left." I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but we usually don't do that. Iowa City's pretty good at not doing that. I'm hit. Using smoke. Enemy eliminated. Prepare for redeployment. I had to kill another Dan. Dan 26. So the driver shows up and says, "Hey, you guys left product on our trailer that I found the last stop." I'm like, okay. So, you know, I don't deal with that stuff because it's receiving stuff, and we were told never to unload receiving trucks. So I don't unload receiving trucks. My boss is on a call, so I send him a Teams message because that's who we are as people. So-and-so a message because I'm on a call right now. I'm like, but so-and-so's on PTO. But it's whatever. I still send him a message. I call him, actually. Or, yeah, I call him because the driver's just waiting there, and I don't know, I kind of want him off my goddamn property. So, send him a call, or give him a call. He says, "Yeah, just unload it if you can. Like, just stage it later. Just tell us what you do with it." I'm like, okay, simple enough. So I unload it, or actually, I don't unload it. I go to him and say, "Hey, we'll unload you. Come to door 24. He's like, "Door 24, got it. Thank you." I'm like, of course, anytime. Especially because shipping, or not shipping. Especially because receiving, shockingly, was the one that fucked it up. Gas is closing in. Yeah, so tell him to go to like door 24 or whatever. He starts backing in. He opens up the trailer. Looks at, because he has swing doors and not the roll-up doors that we normally use, so they have to open it up. And he opens it up, looks inside, closes it, drives off. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And this is like, as of right now, 20 minutes of my time being wasted. And I'm like, okay, I guess he's just leaving. And the next thing you know, he's sitting on the yard. So I go out to talk to him because I have to go close the gate. He gets out of the trailer, of his truck, and he goes, "Daniel." And I'm like, I never told him my name. How would he know my name? I never told you my name. How do you know my name? But he goes, "Daniel, I owe you an apology." And he sticks out his hand. And this motherfucker has the thickest goddamn hands I've ever seen in my life. Like, those fucking things were beefy. Like the dad from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Or like that fucking fish movie. Like those dads. Biggest goddamn sons of bitches I've ever seen. Like fucking sausages. And actually no, they were more like bratwurst with how fucking thick they were. Goddamn. And he like grabs my hand and I just feel so weak, but I sit there and I squeeze. I'm like, this is gonna be the firmest handshake he's ever met in his life. But I couldn't get my fucking head around the palm of his hand. It was just like, I feel so scrawny right now. I'm not gonna piss you off. And like, yep, just sat there, shook his hand for a second as he's just like explaining to me what's happening, and I'm over here like, don't you let up on this handshake, Daniel. You keep going. And I could tell he was only using like 10% of his strength, because I'm over here like using at least like 70%, trying to show him that I'm a man, that I too can have a firm handshake. And he goes, I owe you an apology. The stuff in there isn't yours. I gotta go. I'm like, okay, thanks, bye, leave. And I'm like, sorry that happened, but if it's not ours, it makes me feel better. He goes, yeah, I own the truck, but I rent the trailer, so anything in there I have to pay for. I'm like, oh, that sucks, but, you know, please get out of my yard. And I'm like, how the fuck does he know my name? That's the only thing I was concerned about, was like, he knows my name, and not once did I hate this skin. I'm going back to Menendez. Not once did I say my name, and this motherfucker knew my name. Yeah, so that was the beginning of my day. Then work went on as normal, and my thing's fucking flashing for some reason. I'm about to have a fucking freak out. So that was the beginning of my day. You know, what was that? Then work went on as normal, like I just said 10 seconds ago. But at the end of the night, I'm leaving. Right, as one does. You get done with your work, you get to go. So I head out to my truck, and there's this associate that I always talk with. So I go. Not saying I'm a speeder by any means, but by God, does the pedal sometimes go to the metal? All right. So, yeah, we're leaving, and they go, you know, don't speed, Dan. And I'm like, you have no idea. And so, I mean, they do have an idea. They know. I've talked. I've told my stories of my idiocism. But, they go, don't speed, Daniel, and then we have like a little conversation. And that wasn't my fucking bounty. That was not how it was supposed to go down, but that's how it went down. And I told him about how things can do things, and like my truck can do stuff that really shouldn't do. And they, without speeding wise, and without saying that I'm an idiot, they heavily implied that I was an idiot, which is fair. I mean, I am. So, and at first I leaned back on my truck because we were just having a casual conversation, and so I was leaning back on my truck, kind of like how Sam was leaning back on Bumblebee in the beginning of Transformers 27, Transformers 2007. When he was like leaning on Bumblebee, and then Miles was like, "Hey, let's go," and he was like, "I'm gonna give you a ride home." And then Miles was like, "She's an evil jaw comedy man, let her hitchhike." And he was like, "Miles, I need you to get out of my car." He was like, "Bros before hoes," and all that thing. Anyways, nonetheless, if I'm smart enough, Daniel, editing Daniel, I know it's me. I know we have our differences. I know recording Daniel and editing Daniel are two different people. However, please put in the scene that I'm talking about so they can know what I'm talking about. But I'm kind of leaning against like the front of my truck, the grill, instead of the side like Sam is in this photo. I'm really banking on the fact that I'm going to put this in there, by the way. So yeah, we're just talking, right? And then I say something about a... Do I have it? No, I'm trying to be cool, right? I'm trying to be calm, cool, and collected. Because that's who I am as a person, you know? And so, yeah, I'm leaning on the truck, and then... I forget how we brought it up, but I mentioned that my parents and... my sister Larissa went to Medieval Times, and they didn't know what Medieval Times was. They asked if it was a Ren Fair, and I'm like, not really. Like, it's in an arena. And then I start walking towards them, but I didn't want to like rush towards them and like they get spooked. You know how like you walk towards a deer and they run away. Not to call them a deer, but you know, like that's a thing. And so I was like just like casually walking over there, but like I do like these these stupid fucking toe tap things. I'm gonna fucking kill myself, dude. I am. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Buddy, old pal. See, why'd you have to go and do that, my guy? We could have peacefully lived together, but instead, you had to go and do that. And it's like, and when I say toe taps, like, I don't know how to explain what it is without showing it, but I'm not gonna show you guys what it is. It's just like I just lift my foot up and I just tap it on the ground. So like I usually do it when I'm just standing still. And I don't do it when I'm walking. But it's like an anxiety. I did it all the time, like before playing sports and stuff in high school, and I, for some reason, never realized that I did it. Still, because I don't play sports anymore, so why would I do it? But then when I was walking towards them, they're like, "Why are you walking so weird?" And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And so I suddenly just forgot how to walk, and now every time I'm walking from now on, and they go, "Why are you walking so awkward?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I don't have an answer, I was just walking, and like you're just doing it so weird, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I was trying not to just rush over, and then when I walked away, I had to like walk backwards because I'm like, you need to look away while so I kind of explained what medieval times was, but the entire time I was just flustered over them calling out me being awkward. Yeah, so yes, so that was Wednesday. Today is Saturday, so yesterday, Friday, we're in this office, and I was just talking to them, and I tell them, I'm like, by the way, ever since you called me out on it, I've just been doing nothing but just worrying about how I walk towards you. And they're like, you've never done that before. And I'm like, yesterday we were in this office, and I told them, like, oh, by the way, ever since you, I have gulag. I had gulag this late. I'm gonna lose. There's no way I win. Even like if I go back. But they're like, you've never walked like that to my car before, and I'm like, when the fuck have I walked to your car? You walked to my car before, and I'm like, I when? Because I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. And they go, Keenan made me this. Well, he didn't make. I don't know if he made it for me specifically, or he made it and then gave me one. So, nonetheless, I'm gonna say he made me it, so it made me feel a little better. He made himself one too, but then he broke his. But it's this butterfly knife, but it's 3D printed, right? And so, one time I showed them it before leaving, and that's the time that they were talking about it. And I'm like, well, that's different. I had a goal. I knew I wanted to show you this. I had something in my hand to distract, to like just fiddle with. But yeah, like I had something in my hands that time, so it was different. It was easy to just walk up to them and talk to them. Right? I don't know. It was a different time. I wasn't prepared to have to walk up to their car, so I didn't have to like think of just walking to their car, and I just like did it awkwardly. I didn't want to like walk really quick into their car. I wanted to, casually do it, but apparently me doing it casually was those goddamn walls, man. Those goddamn walls. But yeah. That'll do it for this video, guys. Just please note that I have an awkward walk and a firm handshake, so if you guys ever meet me in person, be prepared for that. Alright, have a good day, guys. Adios, muchachos.